What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. We're going live, ripping some drafts. We did it, guys. We made it. We made it to that magical time of the off season, of the best ball season, where every best ball drafter has got it figured out. Everyone's got it figured out. It's the time. It's the time of year when every best ball drafter, the groupthink is at maximum capacity right now. Everybody's got it figured out, and that's the way you got to draft. Draft any other way, and you're an idiot. You're dead rosters. Blah blah blah. I love this time of year. It's tragic. Drives me crazy. This is the time right before training camp opens. We got all the rookie fodder from rookie mini camp, all of the early coach speak, all of the running with the ones. Next week it'll be best shape of his life. That'll be a good one. That's coming soon. It's just, this is the time of year that drives me a little bit crazy. There's a lot of times throughout the year that drive me crazy. But this whole, we've got it figured out, just follow along, fall in line, do as you're told kind of situation that we're finding ourselves in. At least it feels like for me, is the funnest time in the best ball draft cycle. But maybe I'm just being a little bit jaded right now. Meg, what's happening? Just topped off watching the round 2 of the first round for Best Ball Jeopardy over on the Fanspeak Network. Go follow them, check them out. It was a great time. I gotta get up on some of these stacks. I should be okay on that, but the bye weeks, that's the negative thing about having the tools, like having Best Ball Overlay, Spike Week, whatever, is it tells you the bye, so you're not exactly as honed in. So it's going to take me a little bit to nail down these bye weeks, but I'll be on it. Disbanded. How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in. Steven Hines coming in. Always appreciate you. Hartman, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. Brutal time of the off season. Yeah, it's frustrating. Bye week math is definitely hard. I'll have to have my calculator pulled up if it's like 9 times 14 or something like that. Putt Daddy in here. OG, how you doing, brother? Thanks for coming in. Thad on real time. QBs do matter. But maybe not. I mean, again, depends on the group think for that week, how it works or who you can backstack and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyways, we're going to rip some drafts while we're here. We're just going to rip a couple puppies probably. Let's jump into a 30-second puppy draft. If you guys want to jump in, wait on a few. I want to do puppies because I want to get at I want to get to a certain number, and I got some work to do to get to that number. So I'd like to get to 50 puppies for the puppy one, kind of at least, but probably that's where I'll be. So I'm going to change to just the puppy because I do have quite a few drafts done. Switch over to ADP. Waiting on 6, 30-second puppy. If you're in the chat, you want to draft with me, jump in. Yeah, it's just a wild time in the best ball draft cycle right now. We still have so much to go, so much time, so many drafts. It's crazy for people to think that we got it figured out. We got it figured out now. This is it. After 6 years, we finally got it figured out. And especially when we're still in May, right? We are still in May. Yeah, still in May. 3 more months realistically, little more than 3 months worth of drafting. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to get some certain exposures, make sure I have certain fades that I don't like. Some of these ADPs are starting to get out of control, which we all know. Yeah, the game is beatable. It's, just go on Twitter. They'll tell you this game is not only beatable, but it's beat. It's already been beat, by certain people on the Twitter machine right now. So yeah, anyways, again, I'm probably just being a jaded crybaby right now, but I don't know. Certain times in the draft cycle just really get under my skin and drive me nuts. Plus, in the chat, let me ask the chat a question. You know, people are coming in the chat asking questions. I'm gonna ask the chat a question. Okay. So where I live, in front of my house, right? I've been putting a lot of work on my grass this year because I don't like it and I don't want it to be terrible. So I've been putting a lot of work on my grass, trying to get it in a good spot this summer, right? And our weather's been horrible, so it hasn't been helping, but I've been putting in a lot of work. So that's just an underlying theme here. I have new neighbors that just moved in next door. They got a mobile tire service to come in. Lazy people obviously can't take their vehicle in to get their tires changed. So they get a mobile service to come and change their tires. They're parked in front of their own house, which is fine. I do get annoyed. I'm one of those people. If you park in front of my house, I get a little bit annoyed if you do it every friggin' day, which they kind of do. And it drives me a little bit nuts, but it is what it is. It's a public street. I can't tell you not to park there. But the guy gets there, they back their truck up in front of my house. So this guy will be changing tires basically literally on my grass, like literally half the truck because there's no sidewalk there. So half the truck, the guy will be changing 2 of the tires on my grass. Would that piss you off, chat? Am I being unreasonable? Am I being like a grumpy old man here? Or would that piss you off if it's like, dude, and it's not the tire, it's not the guy, it's not the mobile service, it's my neighbor, just backs their truck up in front of my house and says, yeah, go ahead, change the tires right there, no problem. I go out and say, dude, can you mind asking them to move it across the street? There's a sidewalk over there. It's literally just across the street. There's a sidewalk and the road, like there's tons of room. You're not just on my grass. Like, anyways, let me know in the chat. Am I being ridiculous? Is that stupid of me? Is that crazy of me? Am I the crazy old man just being like, get off my grass? Like, I think that's rude to even like just back it up, put it right in front of my house. You know what I mean? I thought it was just like, man, people these days, like, that was crazy. That was crazy. I thought Hartman thinks I'm in the right. Yeah. Okay. I was just like, how do you legitimately just either you do not give a fuck or your brain doesn't work fully. Those are the only options for me in my head. Like I just was like baffled that someone would even do that. So if it was me and I just like had a brain fart and just totally slipped my mind, I would legit knock on their door and apologize. I would be like, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about that. That was my bad. I apologize. That's on me. My fault. My apologies. But no, they're probably like that asshole over there. I don't know. I was just like, geez, you got to be killing me. You're kidding me, I should say. On your grass, right? Like, what are we doing? You're changing tires. It's not like you're just, like if you're parked there, that's one thing, but you're changing tires on my like lawn in front. Like, what are we doing, man? The neighbor should have said something to the people they hired. It wasn't the person that they hired's fault. It was their fault. They backed their truck up in front of my house from theirs, neighbor, right? Just 10 feet back and said, yeah, go ahead right there. Just change the tires. I couldn't believe it. Just got here. No idea what the complaint is, but you're giving a very off my lawn energy. That's what I was saying. Is that it? So what happened was the neighbor backed their truck up 15 feet in front of my house and told the mobile tire change guy to just change 2 tires on my lawn, essentially. Like, again, no, that's not rude. Next time, say the same thing while holding the shotgun. I'm not in the States, I'm not in the States, but what this is like Alberta, where I live, is like the Alberta's the Texas of Canada is what we get called all the time. So anyways, yeah, am I wrong? Am I an asshole? I don't think so. I was like, come on, man. So I had to tell the poor mobile guy, I was like, hey, do you mind just telling? Because I don't like my neighbors already. They haven't said hi or anything. They're not doing their lawn. They haven't cut their grass once. They're not out and about. They have a hot tub. They're in their hot tub every fucking day, literally, which is kind of weird. Anyways, I'd cater a food truck and park it in their yard. There you go. Anyways, let's get to the draft. I ended up in the 12th spot, right? Bringing up the rear. We got Unreal Time, Thad in the 10 spot. We got Champ X in the 6th spot over here. Kelly's in the 4th spot. I think that's it, but let me know if you're in the chat. We had an early pick on Derrick Henry. This is just too. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. How do you not? Gotta go this route. Is there anything I could do differently here? I don't think so. I guess I could go Brian Thomas. I'm definitely taking a Monra. I haven't taken him yet, which is crazy. So I'm definitely going to Monra. That's no question. I'm going to go Amon-Ra London. I like London too much. Plus the Rams situation. I got the Rams week 15 for Amon-Ra, week 17 for Drake London. Let's see if I can bring anything around on that. I love this start anyways, so that works for me. Yeah. Yeah, that would be hilarious. So a little block party and just park a food truck literally on their lawn. I'm an old and no, that's not crazy. Been there. Cold one will help. Yeah. I was just like, man, like how does your brain just be like, yeah, that's all good. That's all good. Just pull back right in front of someone else's house and say, yeah, just change tires on their lawn. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing here, guys? 12 feels so good. 2 first-round receiver plus. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, as long as I'm on or CMC stays down here, and I probably should have taken him, but man, CMC, Frud, what a start. That's a good start right there. Oh, the double, that, are you just trolling me? Are you just trolling me here with this start or what? I mean, I don't hate it. You're going to have to get, let's see. You're going to have to get unique. Yeah. I mean, you can make it work, I suppose. Raiders, Giants, just an absolute blowout week 17. Very on the table. That's a dome game, right? Yeah, very on the table. Don't despise it. I don't despise it. I actually said that it could be a better situation if you want to go down that road. Now, when you know the matchups, so now you could just like pack on the Giant side and have the double bring back. Maybe I'm not sure what you're planning, but I don't. Elite start, yeah. I don't despise it. It just it's not something I would do personally, but I don't despise it. Maybe I'll get like 1 or 2 shares of it just for shits and gigs and then share it on Twitter. I think I got to do that, but yeah, we'll see. What did the Derrick Henry do? Well, pulled up Bucky. Okay. Voltages. That's definitely a unique start. You got to give him that. It's definitely a unique start. T goes early. So the chase drafter goes McBride, Jackson. Don't mind that. I wouldn't even hate going like in these situations if you get pipped on T Higgins, if you just go McBride and Marv. I don't hate that, but I don't mind doing this either, because then you can diversify and get leverage and unique away from the Cardinals Bengals game, in my opinion. Just stack up a different game altogether, and then you have these elite pieces in this elite game, and then kind of just hope that it's not an absolute crusher of a game. Because if it is, then that's going to be the chalk you just need. It is what it is, and it's very possible that does happen, but then it'll just be about like the advanced pieces that you needed to get there when the time comes. So we'll see how that kind of happens. Yeah, I mix things up. You can do that when when you know ball. Absolutely. I have faith. I have full faith that you're gonna land this plane, brother. Full faith. This guy's interesting. That's interesting to go down that road. Pull up Derrick Henry, pull up Bucky Irving, and pull up Breece Hall. You can get Breece Hall at 42 a lot of times, which is a steal to me. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a 3rd rounder all day, but you can get him later. I guess it's a way to get unique, but realistically, you could easily get like Derrick Henry and Breece Hall, like 2nd round Derrick Henry right around here, and then Breece Hall in the 4th round around here. So I don't like this start whatsoever. you can get two more players mixed in here. It wouldn't be Bucky unless you take Bucky and like, you go Derrick Henry in the first, Bucky in the second, but we're on the clock. We'll finish that conversation off in a second here. Rams, Minnesota, Pitt, Tampa Bay. Don't think I have much I can really do as far as stack options. I haven't taken Lamar yet at all. Let's do that. I might just take like a borderline naked Lamar. We'll see. Let's go Lamar, and then let's bring in. I haven't drafted any Travis Hunter. Okay. Let's do that. That's fun. Tet maybe is the click here. Seattle, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. I got some Tampa Bay. Let's go Tet. Okay. I don't mind the start. We're going to get interesting with Lamar, I think, here. I might just take him naked even. We'll see. I don't love his matchups. Like at Cincinnati, week 15 is fun. But then at home to New England, that might be a lower scoring game. We'll see. And then on the road in Green Bay, that could be really cold. Could definitely be a low scoring game. So I'm not going to focus on this game as my week 17 matchup with Green Bay. So it might just be like a straight up naked Lamar Jackson that I need to advance out of the pod and potentially advance week 15. That's kind of what I'm going to focus on here and then see how it works out for week 17. And I like to build like that too sometimes, where it's just like, what's going to be the piece that you need to get you through? And then you have that kind of non-chalky, or maybe it is even chalky. I don't really care. But that week 17 matchup that you need, the only way it makes sense is with a guy like Lamar. I guess you could say Josh Allen, it could work with similarly. So yeah, I could get on board with Josh Allen being the same piece. But it only works with someone like that, Lamar and Josh Allen, especially where they go. There's tons of one-off, stack options. Tight ends are great. So you could take Mark Andrews a little bit later. You could take Likely. You could take Bateman. Honestly, you could just go naked Lamar and feel okay about it because he spreads the ball around. Like we know that. So realistically, the stack options are typically tight ends for those types of quarterbacks where, the median score is not insane. It's 8 points or something like that or even less is your median tight end score. Right. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out. I kind of like it. It's fun. It's a little bit different and it's a good way to get a little bit unique and leverage and diversify away from people feeling like they have to stack up that early quarterback where I don't think it's exactly necessary. So we'll see how it works out. 25-year wedding anniversary today by the speakers. Oh, nice. Congrats. We rented to see if it all works with the deck we have right now. So yeah, we rented a sub and a speaker, tested it out, and we need a converter for our deck, to go from RCA to XLR. Maybe people know what I'm talking about. Maybe people don't. Anyways, so we rented it to make sure it all works. It does work. So we might be doing that. We'll see. I appreciate that, Kelly. I'll tell my wife that Kelly says we should buy the speakers and see what we do. That's a fun way that start is way too fancy. Appreciate that. Billy Jones. If you're not following Billy Jones, you need to be. Go on Twitter, follow Big Brain Billy Jones. Put out a nice spreadsheet and Google Doc available for anyone for the fun Herzig fantasy best ball kind of thing, tournament, whatever you want to call it, that's going on. I still haven't built my own team, but it definitely will consist of myself and we'll see who else. But definitely go follow Mr. Billy Jones on the Twitter machine over there. So the 1v1 is Bucky versus Amon-Ra-ish. Not amazing, but not that bad. Yeah, plus a plus another third round pick. If we're talking about the Henry Brees Hall Bucky situation. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're excited. We just had doctor's appointment today just to kind of smooth some things over. So it's all good. Everything's happy. Everything's looking good. And congrats on the wedding, man. Congrats on that. Enjoy it. You only get one, hopefully. That's the plan anyways, right? So enjoy it, have fun. And don't make any apologies for anything when it's your wedding. Don't make any apologies. It's your day. Do your own thing. What are we going to do here? We'll click over ADP. I'm trying to balance out some exposures, as you may have noticed a little bit. What do we want? Running backs definitely on the table. I'd probably like to go running back, wide receiver here. I could go running back. That would be not a bad thing. I really like Amon-Ra Drake London. Tet's a bit of a wild card in there, but Amon-Ra London gives me a really nice high floor and high ceiling with those two guys, but definitely a high floor. So that kind of frees me up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get a bring back with Kenny Gainwell. I really need a Ram in here then. Definitely need some Ram action. And then let's bring in Trevion. Let's do that. I kind of like that. Pairs up with my Baltimore. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go Kenny Walker, Trevion Henderson. We're going to get a little bit of correlation going here. We've got Tet and Kenny Walker in week 17. I like that game. And I like that matchup. I fully think that Carolina is going to be susceptible to be run on quite a bit this year, as they were last year. And then I need some Rams pieces here. That gets me a bring back in, every week over here. So I like that. I like the start. This should be a fun team, actually. I kind of wish this was a Best Ball Mania team. I do. I'm adopting 3 teenage girls with my wedding. So she has three daughters, I imagine. That's awesome, man. Congrats. Yeah. We're waiting on number 1 here. I think it's a boy, but we'll see. I'm sure every dad thinks it's a boy. Every man, every father thinks they're having boys, but I really do. I've been saying that since day one. So I think it's a boy, but we'll see. Either way, I don't care. It's healthy. That's all that matters. Just tell me it's healthy. We're not even finding out. I don't know, but I think it's going to be a boy. And we'll see how it goes. As long as it's healthy. But yeah, I do wish this was a BBM, actually. I like this start a lot. It's definitely different. Should be pretty unique. I don't think I've taken Kenny Walker a ton yet. No, not at all. And Henderson, I don't think I have either. 1 time, 2 times in the puppy. So I'm happy to get some exposure kind of flattening with these picks. And it's definitely a little bit unique. So we could do some different stuff. And then this guy brings in Jameson Williams. I don't mind that. I want to follow along with this 7-7 spot to see how he kind of tries to land this plane. I like the Jameson Williams click for sure. Don't mind Ridley. Don't mind Jennings. I like that. But where are we going with this? Not much for stack options and game correlations. I mean, there are some stack options. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, I shouldn't have said stack options, but there's not a lot of game correlation going on here. So we'll see. I want to keep an eye on how that one lands. Anything else going crazy? Nothing major. Thad takes Devontae Adams on me. Mind you, that's where he goes. Mind you, I think that was a fall, so good on you. But it would have been really cool if Devontae Adams fell to me here. Cortland Sutton, Joe Mixon, Chuba Hubbard. We'll see. Dallas back in game 3-3. There we go. Congrats. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Unless, appreciate that. Let the 7 spot cook. Is that your alter ego, Hartman? No, he's not too. It's a good start, actually. I mean, you could definitely land this plane. I'm just interested to see how he does it. So that's the biggest thing. I like a three RB start automatically is going to kind of get my attention a little bit. I don't think that's a quality strategy this year. I think last year that was, and I was drafting that way. I was doing this a lot last year. This year, I'm going to have a hard time. I just don't think that's the strategy this year. I really don't. But also taking a second round pick in the first, a borderline third round pick in the second, and a fourth round pick in the third, right? I'm not sure I can. Yeah. I do too. That's like, I'm interested. I want to see how this goes. I'm not ready. I'm not going to sit here and say he's wrong. I'm not going to sit here and shit on it. That's for sure. Not again, like how I opened the show, not like some other people on Twitter or whatever, some other situations that, it just gets shit on immediately. Team's dead, whatever. I really don't think it is. I want to see how it lands, though. I do want to see that. I want to see how it goes. I want to see how it lands. And maybe there's something I can learn from it. There might be something different that's like piques my interest. Soft tissue injury already. Hey, for Burden. Interesting. That's not great to see. I would have went Hawkinson there to pair up with my Amon-Ra. Let's bring in. It's kind of got to be Pollard here with the fall. There's a big tier break at running back for me after Pollard. So let's do that. And then I really need a wide receiver here. Could go Darnell Mooney. And I typically would. I'm pretty high ownership on him. But let's bring in Josh Downs. I think there's some serious value with Josh Downs. Pairs up with Kenny Walker too. That's cool. Doesn't really matter. That's not what's influencing me. Let's go Josh Downs. Definitely had to go wide receiver there. This opens me up to stop at 5 running backs as well. I can stop at 2 quarterbacks with Lamar. So that gives me a lot of options, a lot of optionality with this build so far, I feel like. So I could definitely do some different stuff. Posting a build on Twitter is how I found out people really hate Pacheco. I mean, people have always hated Pacheco for God knows why. Like, I mean, now he's going in a spot where it's tough because Pollard's right here and depends on how many you've taken before Pacheco. Like in the big board, when Pacheco's going to pick 120 all the time, I was saying then, and I'll just repeat what I said then. It was like, I'll be your Huckleberry. I will take Pacheco at a pick 120 every single time. And I ended up getting up to like 50, almost 50%. It was like 42. It's like 42% Pacheco. And my average ADP was like 100, 101, something like that. 105, maybe? No, 100 to 105. Somewhere in there was my average ADP on Pacheco in the big board. Now he's going in the 80s, 86 here, going in the 80s. What's his ADP? 90. So I guess you could take a 10 picks of value average in the big board. I think there's value in picking Pacheco. It just honestly typically doesn't make sense for me in most builds. 0 times in the puppy. Let's go to all tournaments and see how many times I've drafted Pacheco. 1 time in a BBM so far, 2%, 1 time BBM. There's tons of draft left throughout the season, like I've been saying, but yeah, he's a bit of a tough click around here. Yeah, he's a tough click because I think it's a pretty big tier break after the, Judkins, Kamara, Caleb. You could throw Swift in there. I need to get some exposure there, but definitely Pollard is kind of where I draw the line. I'm going to have a lot of Pollard, a lot. I already do, and I'm going to continue to have a fair amount of Pollard. And then we'll see, because like, what's the difference between Pacheco and Brian Robinson? And I think that's exactly what I was saying. I can't recall if that was my exact quote, but that's what I was saying in the big board. Is like, what's the difference between Pacheco and some of these guys like Jalen Warren, Brian Robinson? So if you can get these guys later, I feel like Pacheco's got to fall a little bit, and I really like Rashard Smith personally. I just think he can do stuff that no other running back on this roster can do, and they miss that Jerick McKinnon role or player or archetype on the roster. So I'm drafting a lot of Rashard Smith personally. Stars from 1 to 3 to 4 to 3. Let's go Stars. They're probably going to pull that one out. That's a lot of momentum. That's a lot of momentum right there. Damn, that's crazy. I was too worried to push my RB in that range over like 15-20% because of draft fear. That's another thing. Like, I'm not getting bullied into doing anything that I don't want to do. I always fall into it a little bit. I if you know, by watching this channel, watching this show a lot, you know, I do my own thing and I don't give a shit what people have to say for the most part. Sometimes I fall into it and I get sucked in to the like just nonsense and just I don't know why I get sucked into it, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I always like to leave room that maybe you're completely wrong. I always say that, and it's very possible. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. And that is always possible. I'm going to take Luther Burden just because he's fallen, little soft tissue injury. I mean, a little soft tissue deal. There you go. Yeah, I'll take the ADP fall on Burden if he's gonna fall down here, and then it's gonna be Mark Andrews. Obviously, pair up with my my Lamar. That's kind of exactly what I wanted to do, anyways. But I'll take a huge discount on Burden. Absolutely. Let's go, Mark Andrews. There we go. But yeah, I fall into it every once in a little while. I fall into the trap of listening to people, listening to other content, people on Twitter, that kind of stuff. And I got to get back to just not caring and doing what I like and what I do, and sticking to my takes, sticking to my rankings, sticking to my guns, and not apologizing for any of it. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I feel like that's what, makes people want to watch this show. If it is, great. If it's not, I don't know. I don't think anybody wants another groupthink type of guy out here drafting best ball. So I got to get back to doing what I do and making no apologies for it. I like what this guy's doing. This is kind of interesting. He's brings in Kyle Williams, Keon Coleman, Trey Harris. I actually kind of dig it. I actually kind of dig this. Like, how do you land this plane? Who does Tennessee even play week 17? Let's go Levis. New Orleans, KC, San Francisco. Okay, so he does have a San Francisco piece, I think. Yeah. New Orleans and KC. There's KC pieces you can get. I feel like he's going to have to bring in Cam Ward. You can't get Purdy. I guess Herbert's still on the board. Herbert, Ward. May's got to be gone, right? Drake May, no. May's still on the board. If he gets Drake May, that would be really nice with the Kyle Williams. I don't think he falls that far. That would be great if he does for him. But 4-6-0-4-6-0 start. Very interesting. That can work. I kind of dig it. You're going to have to be 3 QBs. You're going to have to be 3 tight ends, which is fine. So one more likely wide receiver, unless you stop at 4, which you really could. So 3, 4, 8, 3. Yeah. Yeah, that could be it. That's interesting. This could really land. I'm going to keep an eye on this one because that's definitely different. That's definitely a little bit different. Yeah, Saints, Titans. There you go. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I hope that's why people watch the show. You get some different takes. It's not groupthink. You get some different stuff. It's not the same shit you hear, day in and day out on the YouTube machine. So, yeah, we'll see. Was it Leone? Someone was talking about starting 0660 and finishing 3663. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't go with 6 running backs with this build. That's for damn sure. I would probably stop at 4. I would stop at these 4 that I have, and then it's just a matter of if he's going to be able to get some correlation. So he should be able to get Drake May. Good on him. If he does, that's awesome. That's a fun start. May's ADP is like 124. I could see him making it back. Is it that low? I thought it was like 117. Wow, it is 124. You're right. I just have him ranked up. Okay. Yeah, you better take Drake May here, guy. If you don't, I lose all faith in you. Come on. There we go. All right. I like this guy's squad. Who is this? Voltages. I kind of like it. Yeah, the build they were talking about was 6 straight wide receivers and then 6 straight running backs. Wow. I mean, so then you get like, Caleb or Tony Pollard, like Tony P, call it Brian Robinson, Jordan Mason, Zach or Cam Scatabo, Najee, sure, something like that. That'd be interesting. It's just a matter of like game stacking and team stacking that might get a little out of control. I don't know if I would get in on that. I'd have to see the build. Like I'd have to try it or see it to kind of make it make sense personally. But yeah, it definitely doesn't mean it can't work. That's for sure. It definitely could work. It would just be kind of interesting how it happens. I'm going to do Pitts and Penix here. And then that's what I'm banking on for week 17 is the Atlanta side of the Atlanta Rams game. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm going to stop at 2 quarterbacks, obviously. I'm going to stop at 2 tight ends as well. I have both my tight ends stacked up with my quarterbacks. I don't have to bring in anything else for Lamar, and I'm not going to. So now I can still potentially, depending on who I get for my other 2 running backs, I could still stop at 5 and be a 2-5-9-2, which would be pretty fun. I'm definitely opening doors here on what I can do. I like this team. I really wish this was a BBM. I really do. Only like kind of issue or regret is I don't have a good enough Rams piece. That's my only real like concern would be I wish I had a better Rams piece as a bring back. I'm going to have to settle for like 2-2 or something, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to get some sort of Rams bring back. But if I'm doing 9 wide receivers, I can bring in 2-2 and not really feel bad about it. That's for sure. And maybe even a Rams running back, Corum, Jarquez. I could do that and say, yeah, sure. We can do that double bring back just to have more options of a bring back. But then I kind of would want to go. I guess I got tons of value on Burden. I think this is a 6-4-8 or 2-6-8-2 with Tutu and Jarquez potentially. And then I'd have to get 2 other fairly strong wide receivers in here. Hard to say how we're going to be able to land this sucker. But brings in JJ McCarthy. Does he have a Minnesota piece? Not quite yet, but he does have a Jameson bring back. I don't love that. I mean, yeah, you have the Jameson there. I guess who else does he take? Cam Ward should be on his table for sure. Yeah. Cam Ward, and then I don't know. I guess you could just single stack somebody. I mean, you can get like Ty Felton or something. I'm not really into any of the Minnesota pieces realistically at all. I'm lower on Justin Jefferson than everyone else in the space in the world, probably just this season, and it's a JJ McCarthy thing. I have him ranked at 6. I have Justin Jefferson ranked at 6. I might take him at 5. I probably would if he's there at 5. Same thing with Barkley. I have, Barkley at 5, and I have Justin Jefferson at 6 is my rankings. And like I got into a few minutes ago, I'm not changing it. I'm not apologizing for it. It just is what it is. It's my take, and I'm sticking to it. And it's a JJ McCarthy thing for the Minnesota side. I don't mind Hawkinson with JJ McCarthy. I kind of think that's the one piece that you can get away with. Obviously being the high volume tight end, 7th round, 8th round, potentially even tight end. Yeah. I'll take that and kind of roll the dice on it. Wide receivers are falling a little bit. No, maybe not. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, maybe not. We're basically at ADP on everyone. Okay. Just an interesting draft, the way this has kind of all gone down. It's very interesting. Tons of options. Definitely not going quarterback. I won't completely rule out a tight end, but I don't think I'm going to go down that road. Just about on the clock. A Green Bay piece would make some sense, but I don't like any of these pieces down here. I could bring in Jalen McMillan at a bit of a discount. Pairs up with Atlanta here. I don't mind doing that. Let's do that. Pairs up with Atlanta. And I'm going to bring in, I haven't drafted him yet at all, and I like him as a player. I'm going to bring in Tank Bigsby. I like him as a player, and with the fumbling concerns with Tootin, give me Bigsby for, Cohen just to fall in love with as the runner in this offense, and then Etienne or Tootin are the pass catching kind of option in this offense. Let's do that. I want to get some exposure to Tank, a little bit of a discount. If I'm not going to take him there, when am I going to take him? It's thinning out at running back. Let's do that. Yeah. I like this team a fair amount. It's definitely a little bit different, but I do like the team. Hit that like button for me, guys, if you don't mind. 45 minutes into the show and I haven't asked for it yet. So if you're watching on Twitter, what looks like a lot of people are watching on Twitter, jump over to YouTube, help me out, hit the like button. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out at the very least. It keeps me a little more motivated to make content, right? That's at the very least. And I'll be hopefully switching up some thumbnails. I hate making thumbnails, but a few people have reached out to help out. I'll if and when that does happen, I'll drop their names for sure and shout out those guys for really helping me out with that. But I hate making thumbnails. I hate it, as you all know. It's really just my nightmare, literally. I just try to hopefully get by on the content. Hopefully people appreciate the content, appreciate the takes. And again, yeah, hit that like button if you don't mind. Jump over from Twitter, hit subscribe if you like the content. And if you want to follow on Twitter, the Handles right here. You can bump into the description. It's in there as well. Charles Nelson, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. We'll be drafting all summer. And then I don't make any off season or sorry, I guess it's in season. I don't make any content during the NFL season. I just get way too busy with work, with my real life job. And then, my baby will be on the way, not far into the NFL season. So I'll be a little bit hands tied, but we'll be back for the big board season. I do best ball playoff drafts. I do stream that. Finished 5th in the Big Mitten 2 this year, 5th place. That was fun. That was a good sweat. I was actually in 2nd place for a bunch of it until all that garbage time Kansas City points in the Super Bowl kind of crushed me. But I won't have anything during the NFL season. So we basically end in September 1st, roughly, and then back for playoff best ball, another little bit of a break. And then we're back hard and hot and heavy for the big board. And then all throughout the summer. So there's the schedule that we kind of stick by. By we, I mean me. And there you go. So we'll rip one more draft after this. Another puppy. Like I said, I want to get to about 50. I like to have whole numbers. So it's either going to be 50 or 75, but at least 50. I don't know if I'll be able to get 75 in. We're almost filled actually on this sucker, like closer than I'd like it to be. We are 73.5%, almost 75% full. I've got 20. This is my 26th puppy, so I'm about halfway there. So I need to kind of focus on drafting puppies for the next little bit. We'll rip another one after this, like I said, and then I'll be drafting puppies after the stream as well, off stream. I'm not full fading Justin Jefferson. I don't want to full fade. I guess if I have to take him in at 4, I'll take him at 4. I don't want to full fade him. No, it's not like a hard firm. Like I full faded Ashton Genty in the big board, full 100% fade Ashton Genty in the big board. I won't in this either. I'm not going to full fade Genty in this contest, but I won't take him until he's at the end of the first round. 11, 12, I'll probably click him. I'm not taking him at 8. I'm not taking him at 7, but it's not going to be a full fade like that for Justin Jefferson. I will get some shares, but it'll be less than the field. So an average field drafter or whatever you want to call it, average of the field is 8%. I will not be at 8% Justin Jefferson. I'll probably be like 3 or 4% Justin Jefferson. I just think there's the other players around him are better clicks in my opinion. In for bed. Appreciate you, Best Ball and Call, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. We're on the clock. What do we want to do? Tight end could make some sense here. Definitely not quarterback. I won't be taking a third quarterback. That's for sure. Michael Wilson is who I wanted. I'm super happy he made it back to me. I did not think he would, but pairs up with my Atlanta week 17. I know I said I was kind of going to ride the Lamar side, but this is kind of just working out too well. So let's go Michael Wilson, and then let's go Yoshi Voss that does pair up with my Lamar Jackson. So I don't mind the click of Mason Taylor here. I don't think I need him. This is kind of just working out too perfectly for how I want it. I really wish this was a Best Ball Mania team. I really do. So I probably am. I don't want to force in Tutu Atwell. I really don't. I think I need 2 more running backs here. This does kind of take tight end off the board. We'll see. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if it's really necessary to force Tutu Atwell into this wide receiver room. It's a really, really nice looking wide receiver room. Good balance with a couple rookies in there. Some third-year, second-year players. Yeah, some established vets. This is an awesome wide receiver room. I'm really happy with that. Bye weeks even look good. I didn't even look at that realistically until now. That looks great. I really like this team. I really, really like this team. Might be one of my favorites, actually. I got some Lamar correlation. I've got the Atlanta correlation, except for week 17. I don't have any week 17 correlation. This is like a makes the finals team and finishes 539th. But it probably wouldn't, obviously, with like Lamar, some of the pieces I have, but there's not a lot of correlation for week 17, that's for sure. But I really like this team a lot. I really, really do. Can't believe Cam Ward made 48 million and Shadur made 4. Well, I mean, I do not like Shadur Sanders at all. If you're new to the channel, I was shitting on Shadur Sanders all, draft season, pre-draft, all big board season. I don't have a single share of Shadur. Mind you, I don't have a single share of Cam Ward either. I don't think any of these rookie quarterbacks are very good. I really, really don't. But I do not think Shadur Sanders should play a single down this year. I really don't think he's ready at all. I think it would be a massive mistake for the Browns. And I don't think they're planning on him playing. But again, I have been wrong before, so we'll see. But that's been my opinion of Shadur Sanders. Little scared, but Minnesota could definitely regress this year. Yeah, I don't see JJ McCarthy throwing for 35 touchdowns and 200 yards. I really don't. That's what Sam Darnold did last year. Almost 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns. I do not see JJ McCarthy doing that. Now, does he need to do that for Justin Jefferson to, have a good kind of season? No, he doesn't. But he's going to have to throw at least like 26. And do I think he does that? No, I don't. I really don't. I think maybe 22 is kind of like the ceiling for JJ McCarthy. So how many of those touchdowns go to Justin Jefferson? Is he going to be able to have double-digit touchdowns? I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm not betting that he does. Maybe he does, but is he going to have 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns? I'm betting that he doesn't, is kind of what I'm, betting on. And that's that's where Jamar Chase lives for me. That's where CeeDee Lamb should be living he does for me. Even a guy like Neighbors could live there, right? Amon-Ra could live there. Nico, if he stays healthy, finally could live there. Drake London could live there, realistically. Brian Thomas, it's on the table. Lad McConkey, it's on the table. I just don't see it for Justin Jefferson. I really don't. And I know I'm on an island on that one, but I don't really care. I don't care if I'm on an island. I'll live on that island happily. What do we want to do here? Do I take Corum? I really don't like Corum. Yeah, Shadur's about to have to sell the Rolls Royce. There you go. I think he'll be fine with the endorsements and everything he made in college. He'll be fine. So Cody ain't crying for Shador. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. I don't feel bad at all. So, yeah. Do I want to bring in Tutu? There goes Corum. Okay. Don't have to take him. It's definitely going to be, I guess, Brashard Smith. I kind of just have to do it. I feel like let's do 68% Brashard Smith. Let's do Woody Marks instead, because that's just crazy. Pairs up with Arizona. Yeah, let's go Woody Marks. And I don't want to just force in Tutu. Let's go Woody Marks and Audric Estime. 24% estimate. I got to get off the Brashard Smith a little bit. 25 drafts in and I have 68% Brashard Smith. That's a little aggressive even for me. So let's do that. Mix up some bye weeks. Brashard Smith is bye week 10 with Pollard. Mix it up a little bit. like I said, pairs up with Michael Wilson. Yeah. I really like this team. This is a fun one. This is definitely a fun one. Do you plan on keeping the big fade on Warden post-draft contest? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. I absolutely do. I will. I don't have a single share of him. All tournaments. Oh, I do. $5. I have him in a puppy. I have him in a puppy. Must have gotten boxed out completely. I don't know. I think I have Dart in a puppy as well. I don't think it shows up here, but I think I just took him, or in a Schnauzer, something like that. But in Best Ball Mania, where I'm just hyper focused always on my Best Ball Mania drafts, I always draft them on computer. I always have my just information that I want and need when drafting. You know, it's not a high stakes draft, but it kind of is. I treat it that way for my Best Ball Mania drafts. So I will not have Dart or Cam Ward at Best Ball Mania. I'll tell you that right now. I might have a little sprinkles of them in some of these other ancillary tournaments, the puppies, schnauzers, maybe even a poodle or something, maybe, but I will not have any rookie quarterbacks in Best Ball Mania. Period. I will not. East Finals overtime, nice. That's always fun hockey. Overtime hockey is always the best. Always the best. I have about 2% Jefferson. See you on the island. Please share your coconuts. I mean, yeah, at your own risk. If you agree with my take, then perfect, but do it at your own risk, right? Sean Mitchell, how you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in. CD, Lamb, Jettas easily. Nice. I like it. Oh, CD Lamb. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. 100%. I believe I have CD Lamb as my ranked number two right now behind Jamar Chase. Actually, I'm very positive I do. And then I have Gibbs. Then I have Bijan. We can take a look. Actually, let's jump into another draft. Let's go over this team quickly. I really like this team. There could have been some small changes, but I really, really like this team. Lamar Jackson, Michael Penix, Kenny Walker, Trevion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Tank Bigsby, Woody Marks, and Audric Estime. Don't particularly love the last two running backs. Maybe not even Bigsby, but I want to get some exposure. I just really like my top three that I should be okay, and we'll see how they kind of ping pong off each other. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Tet McMillan, Josh Downs, Luther Burden, huge drop on Luther Burden. Jalen McMillan, nice drop on him as well. Michael Wilson, nice drop there. Andre Yoshivas, I like that. Double stacked. Well, we'll see in a second. Mark Andrews and Kyle Pitts. So double stacked Atlanta, single stacked Mark Andrews there for Baltimore. Bring back with Yoshivas, bring back with McMillan and Wilson on the Atlanta side. Only thing I don't have is any week 17 bringbacks. So we'll see how that works out, but I do really like the team. Let's jump into another 30-second puppy. 30 seconds, drafting a puppy. Jump in if you want to draft with me. Waiting on two. Tons of room. We're going to go back to just the puppy for this. Hopefully I'm not in the 12 spot. Don't want to draft a similar team. Perfect. In the 4 spot. We got Kelly in the 2 hole. That's about it, as far as I know. Cheese 24 Skull. I've definitely drafted with this guy. Don't know who he is, but I've definitely drafted with him. Jiggly Puffer. That's kind of an elite name. I kind of like that. A lot of badgeless. Ron Mexico All-Stars. Kind of like that. Tesla Shock. Okay. Drafted in the 4 spots. We can definitely get a little bit different. So my rankings look like this. This is my rankings. Chase, Lamb, Gibbs, Bijan, Barkley, Jefferson, Neighbors, Puka, Amon-Ra, CMC, Genty, London, Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., and Derrick Henry. That's how it sits for me. A little different than ADP. Higher on some, lower on some. I won't be taking Genty until literally the 11th pick. There's all these wide receivers that I want and I would take over him. So 11 is kind of where I'm drawing the line. I think I have one share so far, and it's at pick 11. Charles Nelson at the 5 spot. That's Cheese 24 Skull. That's who you are. I've seen that name before. I've drafted with that name. There you go. That's who it is. Charles Nelson. Cheese. What is it? Is it Cheese 24 Skull? Is that how you say your name? But I've definitely drafted with you. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Hartman missed it. Apologies, man. My apologies. Looks like Kelly and Charles got in there with the last 2 spots. It's unfortunate. Hate to see it. You hate to see it. Wow, Christian McCaffrey at the 2 spot. Kelly flipping the board. That's not even like that spicy. I kind of dig it. I kind of really dig it. I'm going to go CD because I'm actually behind on the exposure I would like on him. So let's bring in CD. I like that. That's not even that spicy. And you flip the board, he could end up, he's going to end up more where I have him ranked. Where do I have him ranked again? And what's his ADP is 11. I have him at 10, and that's rising. So I might have to bump him up. I'm glad I have him over Genty as it sits. And that's where it's going to stay. That's not that crazy. That's really interesting to build that way. Shout out Kelly. I dig it. Don't make any apologies. Make it happen. I want to see how you land this. That's awesome. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. Found me from PPR Tyler. A lot of people find me from PPR Tyler, I guess. Oh, actually, speaking of the devil, I said something last, whatever episode it was that PPR Tyler was on last. I can't remember when. A few days ago. I don't remember. The last time PPR Tyler was on, I think I said I had 11 finals teams on the stream, and that is not correct. That would be crazy. I had 11 big board semifinal teams. That's what I got that number from. I didn't have 11 finals teams. That'd be aggressive. I would have made more money than I did if I had 11 finals teams. That's for damn sure. I had 3 finals teams. I had 2 big board final teams and a poodle. I've made the poodle finals 2 years in a row. So I just wanted to clarify that. I did not have 11 finals teams. That would be awesome if I did. Hopefully this year I do. But appreciate you coming in, Charles. I like the first round rankings overall. I'm a little higher on Nico though. Yeah, it's the injury thing. Like the guy hasn't stayed healthy for his entire career. And like, as the season goes on, you don't get healthier. So realistically, like if it's for me, for Nico, it's like get hurt early and then come back and be strong into the playoffs, because that's how it goes, right? So I have some major concerns and reservations when it comes to Nico Collins. I'm not full fading him. I will get some shares, and I have some shares already, but I just can't rank him as high as he is. I cannot rank Nico Collins over Drake London. I cannot, and I won't, and I haven't, and it's not going to change. So fair enough, but make your own rankings, do your own thing. Bummer did not get in. Have a great draft. Appreciate you, Steven. Sorry you didn't get in, man. Stars won 6-3. Dang. They ended up just crushing them. Up 3-1, and they score 5 straight. That's crazy. CD, what do we want to do? McBride is there for my rankings. Let's do T. Let's push him a little bit up the board, just a little bit. I'm sure there's a lot of CD T Higgins starts, but not a screaming amount. Like CD goes 5th, 6th all the time. And wow, Drake London at the 9th. That's nice. That's really nice. There's some interesting starts we got here. We got Brock Bowers in the 1st. CMC at the 2 spot for Kelly. Brings in Marvin Harrison. Trey McBride goes to the Chase drafter. He might be cursing my name. I don't know. There's not a crazy amount of CD Lamb and T Higgins starts, so we'll see. We'll see. I definitely just want to kind of mix it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Emo Cowboy, Tyler, appreciate you coming in. He was just on the Fantasy Football Garage. I was in there chatting a little bit before I went live here, so go watch that back on the Candyman's channel. I'm sure it was fun for the 15 minutes that I got to watch between Best Ball Jeopardy and me going live over here. So go check that out. Emo Cowboy was on. Always a good time. 6 beers deep. We'll see. I love it. I love it. I love that. I love that. McLaurin goes. That kind of stinks. Obviously would have been the click. Yeah, that obviously would have been the click there. Let's do let's just do Jacobs. Let's do Jacobs. I don't have enough Jacobs. I haven't clicked him yet at all in the puppy. So let's just do that. 2 bye week 10 wide receivers as well. That could push down this start as like an exposure start, but we'll see how it works out. Saw Who Hames the quick start. Did he close it out to? Oh yeah, he crushed it. I'm glad I didn't play Who Hames, man. Who Hames just crushed tonight in the Best Ball Jeopardy. So I'm glad I didn't have to play him. Poor Sean, man. Like, no, I don't know if anybody would have beat Who Hames tonight. Like, he was just on point. So yeah, he pulled it out. Lolsimo, appreciate you coming in. Yeah, Sean played Who Hames. It's Genty season, I guess. Not for me. Not for me. It never has been. Probably never will be. I'll get a little bit of exposure, but we'll see how it goes. Was at the bar every time I looked up. Dallas has scored quite the run. Yeah, that's wild. 5 straight goals to win that game. That hurts, man. That really hurts. Hit the like and sub. Please do. If you like the content, there's a lot of people watching on Twitter tonight. If you're watching on the Twitter machine, hop on over to the YouTube. You know, Algo, help me out. Hit the like button. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate that. 15 minutes is all I need. That's 14 minutes too long, is it not? Damn. Shout out to Who Ames. Guy kill. Yeah, I mean, nobody. The Schwab, Stump the Schwab wouldn't have beat Who Ames tonight. Like, he was just on fire. I'm glad I didn't have to play him. Both good job. Definitely. There's some tough questions in there. And hopefully I'm not playing Who Ames in the second round, because shit, that was intimidating, man. Dude was just firing all cylinders. So yeah, we'll see. All romantic like. Speaking of which, we need to get we need to get Brokeback Best Ball going again in the very near future. Emo, we'll set that up in the next little bit. I'm actually super busy with my personal life. In the next couple weeks, I got my annual sales meeting across the country next week, so I'll be off on that. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. There'll still be a few streams before them, but next week I'm in Montreal, Canada. So yeah, it'll be a fun trip, sort of, but I'll be off for a couple weeks. We're good to go in midsummer. Absolutely. We got to get that rolling again. Valiant effort, Sean, who was the one tonight. Yeah, it is. I mean, again, the Schwab wouldn't have beat Who Hames tonight. He was fuego. There were some serious pulls that I was just completely drawing a blank, and he just crushed it. So good on him. Let's do Jameson Williams. I think is a fantastic click right here, right at my ranking. I mean, I do have a Marion Hampton obviously ranked at this, higher right now, but with bringing in Josh Jacobs, let's do Jameson Williams. I think he's a great click. 3 dome games in the playoffs. I knew he would rise. I called it in the show with Billy Jones and Steve Schaup that we did on schedule launch day. We were in agreement that that Jameson Williams would be rising due to both, the 3 dome games, playing in a quality offense, and just where it lined up on ADPs and on the draft board. So it just made all the sense in the world for him to rise up. And here we are. Tell CSA HQ in Montreal I say howdy. Will do. It's in Montreal, hey? I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I would have thought maybe Toronto, I guess. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's tough to kind of go out and about in Montreal. I don't speak French whatsoever. I don't speak a lick of French, and it's okay in Montreal. It's not the end of the world, but you get outside of Montreal and they won't even talk to you if you don't speak French. I'm not even kidding. I wish that was a like joke or hyperbole or something, but they will treat you like dirt. I'm not kidding at all. It's pretty wild out there sometimes. Odunze gets pulled up. Okay. Do I want to go Zay? I mean, this is a nice fall as far as where I have him ranked, but I kind of want to take Waddle here. No, let's take Zay, even out some exposures a little bit. Get some value. Plays with my T. Higgins week 15. Let's do that. Not that I'm going to get the quarterback bringbacks. I would have pushed Burrow. If he didn't go here, I would have pushed him to 69 and just hope that I got him with T. That's kind of was part of a loose plan that if it worked out, it worked out. I wasn't going to, obviously asking Burrow to fall to 69 is asking a little bit, but I would not have taken him here. That's the situation where I want to try to push him. And it just didn't quite work out. The French don't like not French folk. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then they get it when they go to France. So when Quebecois go to France, it's a bit of a different language, and then they get it from them. So it's kind of funny how they just like look down on the Franglish, the Anglais people trying, and then they go to France and get shit on. So it's kind of funny how it all comes full circle over there. Speaking of which, there's 2 French islands off the coast of Nova Scotia or Newfoundland in Canada that are French. They are legitimately France. You need a passport to go to these islands, and it's like an hour and a half boat ride off of the shores of Canada. Little known fact about Canadian geography. So Google it. It's interesting. Zay over Waddle. Yeah, for sure. It was more just like what I want to do with this team and this build. So I ended up just, going with my rankings. It was only like 2 spots of ADP value, but value for my rankings, it's almost 10. So yeah, I agree. You gotta just, another thing I'm pissing and moaning about Twitter being what it is right now is like, what happened to just picking good players? Just pick the best players. Works sometimes. So let's just do that, Yeah, I'm not picking a lot of Josh Jacobs, but if I don't pick him here, when am I going to click him? Haven't clicked him yet at all in a puppy. I took him right up my ranking, right? Yeah, ranked 28th. I have him picked him at 28. Okay, a couple picks of value. Let's do it. I definitely wanted Godwin there. That was kind of why, but I didn't think Godwin would fall. Honestly, that was pretty much exactly why I wanted to take Waddle, because I wanted to take Godwin there. And then it frees me up for Baker or Tua, and I have that week 17 game stack. That was why I potentially wanted to take Waddle there. But it would have been tough to get Godwin to fall to me at 69. That was another part of the thinking. Anyways, long-winded way to say, yeah, I didn't take him. I would have taken Addison there just because it pairs up, but it is what it is because no, it's not. Okay, fair enough. I thought that might have been the Jefferson drafter. So it's Trevion as far as my rankings are concerned. But I'm going to do Judy. I'd like to get a little bit more Judy in my life. Yeah. I'd like to get a little more Judy. Rankings say Trevion, but it doesn't really make sense for this team. And there's like any one of these running backs, I don't mind taking, including Caleb that pairs up with Judy and Jameson Williams. So that's probably the click if it makes sense. Judkins would be a very solid click. But with Judy, I don't know. There goes Judkins. Let's take a look at what Kelly's doing after this pick. I want to see how that CMC thing is going. We got Bowers pick in the first round. I want to see how that's going. Caleb goes. Myers might be the click here. I don't know if I want to go down that road. I don't think I want to take another wide receiver here, and I don't know if I want Pollard. I'm going to pull up TJ Hawkinson here, pair him up with Williams and CD. I don't love that either, but I don't want to take Pollard again on this build. I don't. Let's do that. Let's bring in Hawkinson. So what's Kelly doing after she snipes my Caleb Johnson, CMC, Marvin Harrison, Rashee Rice, Cortland Sutton, George Kittle, Dave Montgomery, Caleb Johnson. Rashee and Cortland Sutton game stack. San Francisco. Little team stack. Detroit and Pittsburgh. I guess there's some pairing there. For me, it would have been Jameson Williams, so I get that. Yeah, interesting. Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., Lamar Jackson, Travis Hunter, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave. I don't really like taking two Saints players here. Even if you're planning on bringing in Tyler Shuck, I just really don't think it makes sense to be betting on what could very well be the worst team in the NFL. I don't mind taking one. If you take one Saints player, I have my exposure to Kamara. I have my exposure to Olave. I have my exposure to Juwan Johnson. But I don't think it makes sense to take two. And I'm not picking any Tyler Shuck. I'm not. So I don't love that, if I'm being honest. Clearly going for the Jacksonville side with Hunter and Brian Thomas. Bowers there, Lamar, sure, that's a good click kind of regardless. So interesting. I don't think I love doing this. I don't love doing that at all. But who does Jacksonville play? Yeah, there's no New Orleans there. So I don't know. I just don't like that. Tennessee, Jets, Carolina. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. In my humble opinion. I could be completely wrong on that, as always. Nick, how you doing, man? Appreciate you coming in. Nick's got a channel going on these days. Go follow Nick Bach, Lidge. I think I said your name right. I hope I said your name right. Go give the man a follow. Check the content. He's starting out. Support the community over there. Pollard, I think that matches up with New Orleans, yeah. But I don't think that's what really makes a lot of sense. Pollard falls into your lap. I get it. I guess it does make sense then when he falls into your lap, but I don't know. That's just an interesting way to build. It's unique. It's fun. Giver. Make it happen. What do I want to be doing over here? Shock already prime QB age as a rookie, bullish. Fair enough. That's the take. Fair enough. Fair enough. Still not for me, but I appreciate what you're getting at. What are we doing here? I was hoping I'd get some falling value somewhere, but I didn't really. So I'll take either one of these RBs. I don't really care. I guess Brian Robinson pairs up with Dallas. Let's do that, I guess. Yeah, a little more value. Let's do that. I don't love my situation here. Don't particularly love the situation. I kind of, I have some options, but I don't particularly love them as far as quarterback stacks. I don't particularly love the position I've put myself in here. I don't like this team as much as the last one. I'll tell you that off the hop. Doesn't mean I can't battle my way out of it. That's for sure. And when things like this happen, I just take Justin Fields. And I think that's the way to go. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Don't particularly love what I've done with myself. That's usually why I do that. Because I don't mind taking Justin Fields naked at all. You can always bring it back with, a tight end. So, or naked's fine. I just don't like when that happens. Yeah, that's kind of when I don't like my options. Like, yeah, Dak's an option, but I don't really want to pick Dak. Like, I can, but I don't particularly want to, if I'm being honest. Goff is an option. I'm not taking the Browns options there. I guess JJ McCarthy is an option, but I don't want to be picking him. I guess it makes more sense if it's going to make sense. It makes more sense to be single stacked with the tight end, much like I say with a lot of other of those type of, archetype quarterbacks, although I don't think he's going to run as much as people think he's going to as a rookie. We will see on that. So I just like to take Justin Fields there. And then I don't feel bad about it regardless of kind of what happens. So yeah, no, I do like Dak with Lamb. I do. And I have a lot of that stack. It's not that I don't like that stack option. It definitely does. I just don't want it in this team. I don't have much for bringbacks anywhere. Like, I don't have a Washington piece. And I could bring something in later, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Ertz would be the option, and I don't want to take Ertz in this. What will this tight end room will be? I don't want Ertz in it. So I don't want to go down that road. Is kind of where I'm at with it. I'd rather not go down that road, is what I should say, I suppose. So yeah. But again, I definitely can take him, and I won't feel bad about it. I just don't particularly want to. If that adds up. But we'll see. Yeah, it's a weird build. I don't like it. And when I get to these types of situations, I take Justin Fields and I kind of figure it out from there. So I definitely have a couple options that I could go with. But honestly, I don't particularly love most of them. If I'm being straight with you. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Mason would have been interesting. Let's bring in Kyle Williams. Pairs up with my Justin Fields here as a bring back. So let's do that. And then I could feel better about Fields. That's always something you can do with Fields. So that's another reason why I like to take Fields there. But I'm not going to like the rest of my quarterback situation. I really don't think I will like it, but we'll figure it out. Is kind of just what's going to have to happen, is just paper mache it, just paper mache roster this thing and just kind of see what happens, see how it goes. So, yeah. Yeah. Don't love it. I like the last team we drafted a heck of a lot more, but we can land this plane. It's definitely not in a bad spot or anything. I'm definitely falling a little bit behind at running back, but I'm always okay with that, to be honest with you. I always think you can kind of piece it together and make it work. And we're just going to go Goff here. Obviously, I kind of have to. I've got the bring back with Minnesota. I've got Jameson. Let's just do Goff. Huge amount of value, 10 picks at ADP. I need a quarterback. Just got to do it. Let's bring in Goff. I probably will still stop at 2 quarterbacks, but we'll see. I might bring in a third, depending on how the rest of this draft goes. Fast Football Garage, thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate you. Go watch Chris the Candyman. Just wrapped up a show with Emo Cowboy earlier tonight. I was only able to pop in for a few minutes before I went live over here, but go check that out. Leave a like, leave a comment, all that stuff. And I'll ask one more time over here, if you're just popping in, hit that like button if you don't mind. If you're new, you appreciate the content, consider hitting the subscribe button. We'll be ripping drafts all summer, having guests on, doing the fun stuff. Get different takes out of me. Typically, again, I really don't fall into groupthink. At least, when I catch myself, I don't. Like I've just caught myself today, falling into it, and it's not gonna happen. I catch myself every couple weeks, maybe every once a month, or every couple months, maybe something like that. I catch myself thinking too much like the crowd and saying, what am I doing? I need to think for myself here. I'm not a scared little bunny rabbit. I'll have different takes than people and not apologize for it for a second. So there you go. That's what you get out of me typically. Where are we going to wrap this sucker up? What a weird team. What a weird team. This guy brings in Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely to pair up with Lamar Jackson. Definitely gets Trevor Lawrence to pair up with Jacksonville. That makes sense. Doesn't have any Green Bay to bring back to Baltimore, which I kind of just did and thought it was fine, but I didn't double stack. I don't like doing this. I've done it once or twice if it makes a lot of sense. And I don't think it does for this guy's build. I don't like the Ron Mexico All-Stars. I apologize if you're watching. I really don't like the way you constructed this team. Just the Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave thing. Like, I like that you got Tony Pollard at a massive discount to pair up, but like, I just can't justify taking 2 players off of what might literally be the worst team in the NFL. I just have a hard time buying into that. And then, double stacking 2 tight ends off the same team. Again, if it really, really makes sense, okay, we can make it happen. But I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, if I'm being honest. I might just take a really rare. Nah, maybe I will, but he'd have to fall to me. Let's do. I guess Rachaad White. I don't love it. Let's do Rachaad White for now. I need to get some running backs going, obviously. I kind of like White in this range. I like all of these guys in this range, though, realistically. I wonder what my rankings say. I don't have them there yet. I did up to 125, so I'm making a little bit of progress. I did like 20 more rankings recently, and now I'm at a weird spot where it's like, who do I rank where? There's a lot of kind of not dead players, but like guys I just don't want to pick that are all kind of bunched together there. So, yeah. We'll see. I got to get working on my rankings, though. That's for sure. It's a weird dead zone, and I don't love the clicks kind of anywhere. If this guy doesn't take McCarthy, I will take him. Okay, let's do it. Let's bring in McCarthy. Won't have a lot of shares, but 11 picks, 10 picks of ADP value. If I pair him with TJ Hawkinson, that's kind of the only way I feel like it makes a ton of sense. I could definitely be wrong there, but Jameson Williams as the bring back. I have both sides of that Detroit game, but really I've got the Justin Fields and Kyle Williams for week 17 as well. Pairs up with CeeDee Lamb for the Minnesota stack. I can always bring in a giant. I wouldn't mind having a giant running back, but it is what it is. I don't love this team. I really don't, but we'll see. Appreciate it. Glad to catch you live tonight. Who we picking for Charles Schwab? I didn't do my golf stuff. I got just too busy this week. I made some money in the PGA. I had $100. I did $100 single entry, and I don't know what I finished, but I made some money on that one. All 6 made the cut in a single entry. You know you're making money, so all 6 made the cut, and yeah. But I didn't do my golf this week, so just got way too busy. I missed you. Yikes. That's all good, man. Watch it back or hit the like. New Orleans 0-17 incoming. Maybe, man. They're going to probably be the worst team, I think. I just think defensively they're going to be hot garbage. They're doing an entire reconstruction of that defense, and it's not going to be smooth. So, could be 70% target share on the upside. Is that Olave? Like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, who are we talking about? I don't know. If it's Olave, yeah, I like Olave, and I'll take one of them. I'll take Kamara. I'll take Olave. I'll take Juwan Johnson, but I'm not taking them all in the same team ever. So, yeah, it's such a dead zone. I'm at 125 rankings right now, and I'm just like, this is all just a bunch of shit. Like, it's just a big pile of shit in here, and I'm trying to sift through to find some peanuts. You know what I mean? Just when you think you know a guy who takes the most fraudulent quarterback in the NFL, no doubt, eh? I kind of had to. I don't like this team. I don't like this team at all, but I kind of feel like I had to. I really do. With the value, he falls 10 picks, and I have it kind of lined up. You know, if he only shows up in my lineup in week 17 and I drag JJ McCarthy there, you know, then I'll be in a good spot. So let's just bank on that being the case. We're going to do Pat Freiermuth for the Jared Goff thing, the Pittsburgh thing. Let's do the Muth. So I've got to bring back there. Rams, I don't. Jacksonville, I don't. Probably won't. I've got to bring back here. Yeah, this could all just piece together and work, I think. I think this can work. I don't love it. It's definitely not my favorite, but I think it can all work. It can piece together. It can match up. It can work. And it's probably going to be a 3-5-7-3, which I don't do a crazy amount of, but that's probably where this is going to end up. With Jacobs, you know, and I mean, it's going to be thin at running back with 5. It's always going to rely on Jacobs, which, I mean, is fine, I suppose. So, and Robinson to a degree. But I mean, Rachaad White gives me a reasonable floor as far as, you know, an RB3. It's kind of why I took him. Let's bring in Mason Taylor, pair him up with Justin Fields. I could get away with 7 wide receivers. Or no, I have to. Never mind. Jeez. 6? Could I get away with 6? I don't think so. That's asking a lot. Let's go 3-5-7-3. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Back myself into a corner. That's fine. I think it can work. I don't love it, but it's going to happen. I debate premium every time I have to hit the skip FD. What does that mean? What is FD? Skip FD. And we're talking about premium tight end? What are we talking about? Tight end premium? Not sure what we're talking about here. But I don't really love this team. I'll say that. Giving up on slowing down. I'm trying to speed up over here, actually. I'm trying to draft a little bit more right now. Oh, it's talking. Okay, we got it. We're good. I gotta speed up right now. I gotta get to at least like 50 puppies is where I want to be before it fills. I still gotta I still gotta fill the schnauzer, and I'm at like 8 or something like that. That's not a big deal. I can easily get that maxed, which is fine, and that'll happen. That's not a concern. But I do want to get to at least 50 puppies. So I kind of got to get my ass in gear a little bit. Plus, I like the eliminator. I like mixing in a weekly winners here and there. I'm not doing any marathons, and I'm not doing any sprints just because there's too much to draft. And I got to make sure I get what I want to get in. And then, if it works out for some other stuff, cool. But the sprint and the marathon just aren't the ones that I want to focus on at all. So I need to kind of save those dollars for, other tournaments that I'm more happy to be drafting. If you don't love the team you draft or the team you have to draft another, damn the rules. I already ripped 2. I'll be drafting off stream. Ripping some puppies, catching up as soon as we wrap it up here. Only have 49 puppies left. Nice. We need to start seeing other people. You guys are on the same draft cycle or what? That happens, man. Me and Candyman were on that last year with BBMs. We were on the same draft cycle. It was kind of funny. Saw him in like 60% of the rooms I was in or something crazy. Is this a time that I take both Green Bay running backs? I think it is. I think that kind of makes a lot of sense. Considering how much this team relies on Josh Jacobs, if he goes down, I want to have the handcuff. Let's do that. And then my last running back cannot be by week 5, 12, or 9 is really kind of how I'm looking at it. That's kind of how I see this. So let's try to make that happen. Yeah. And we can easily make that happen. So let's see how it works out. Yeah. The boys are always in. Bi-week awareness is smart. You got to pay attention to it for sure, right? Like you got to just know how it has to always make sense. Like you have to be able to make it make sense, right? Like in this situation, I'm obviously going to need my running backs to show up when I only have 5 in my room. I'm going to need them to show up as often as I possibly can. So I'm going to need 2 guys to show up in week 5. And if I only have 2 options, right, then that's like it cannot be by week 5. I wanted to take Dart here. I wanted to take Devin Neal here. I was just looking at that pick. But I just don't think it's necessary. I'm going to bring in Isaac Tesla. to double stack my Detroit. Let's do that. I have 2 Detroit wide receivers with my tight end bring back. I like that. And then same thing in week 16 with Pittsburgh. I like that. And then I need a running back. Yeah, we're good. Then I can make that happen. Yeah, you got to be aware of your bye weeks. Definitely, like I was saying, in certain situations like this. Random roster construction strategy. I've been doing some 6 wide receiver avalanche style builds. Been hating how weak my wide receiver room looks on paper when mixing an early RB elite. Yeah, I'm that's why I'm very, 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 very firm. I'll be drafting a lot of 0 RB, hero RB, anchor RB, whatever you want to call them. Like, I want to have my ideal build through 10 rounds is going to be like 1, 2, 6, 1, 1, 3, 6, something like that. Like, I want 6 wide receivers at the very least, no question, 5 wide receivers by round 10. No question. I think there's so much value in running back this year. So much value at running back and so much value at tight end. It's all at the end of the draft. Like right now, we're pick 17. You could take Woody Marks. You could take Jerome Ford. You could take Rashard Smith. You could take Taj Brooks. You could take Gordon. You could take Estime. There's a bunch of other clicks that you might like down here. Tight end. We've got Okonkwo plays. Jatavian Sanders, fine. Arroyo, rookie. Noah Gray, almost 100 fantasy points last year. Tyler Conklin, same thing, almost 100 fantasy points the last however many years. I still think Cole Kmet's an okay click. Yeah, there's options down here. There's no options at wide receiver. Like Dontavian Wicks, I guess you could sell me on that. And then there's all these other like one-off guys, but I just don't think that there's any real value or like league winners or anything like that. A quarterback, forget about it. I want to be done drafting quarterbacks. I've been saying it all off season or draft season so far. I want to be done drafting quarterbacks by round like 12, like maybe 13, 14 at the absolute latest. I want to be done. Like Darnold, maybe. Anthony Richardson, maybe. Geno, maybe. Stafford, maybe. Tua, maybe. These guys, borderline. Penix, yes. Borderline, no. Like Stroud, sometimes. Like, I want to be done drafting these guys. Let's go with who's a running back I want or need, even out some exposures. Let's do Woody Marks, I guess. Yeah, sure. Probably Jerome Ford's the better click there for bye week 5 that I'm concerned about. But as far as a vet, but let's bring in Woody Marks. But yeah, that's what I want to be doing. I'm very, very firm on my structures. Like, I have a firm structure rounds 1, like through 6 rounds. And this is all from data from Big Brain Billy Jones. So go follow Billy Jones. His data is all out there. I've just kind of took it myself and tweaked it a little bit and did some things for myself. And I have some firm strategies and roster construction strategies from rounds inside round 6, like through 6 rounds and then through 10 rounds. After 10 rounds, you got to get your stacks, you got to get your bringbacks, you got to get your exposures, you got to do some different things. So after 10 rounds, it's kind of whatever. Do what you got to do. Fill out your team, fill out your roster, fill out your structure, all that kind of stuff. But through 6 rounds, I have a certain structure I want to be at. And through 10 rounds, I also have a certain structure, and they obviously play off each other. And I'm going to be very firm. It won't be as firm with like puppies and schnauzers and cheaper drafts, but like all of my BBMs, I will be drafting like that 100%. That's why I want to draft all of them on my desktop or laptop here with my screens, have the information available. I'm going to be very firm with it. So, yeah, that's I guess my take on that one. OTS to sneak through. He joins full rooms. Yeah, I gotta get some EV, man. I gotta get some EV. A wearing is carrying. There you go. Fantasy drafting 101. Beware of bye weeks. Just have it on the back of your mind. Just have it there. You got to know bye weeks. You got to think about it a little bit. Yeah, just make sure. I'm not fully a bye week bro, but I definitely am always cognizant of my bye weeks. Tika 144 is best ball on calls. Underdog name. Shout out. My therapist says I should cut down my jacket. Me too, man. Like, yeah, me too. That's always sound advice right there. There you go. Am I out on elite tight end? I'm not completely out. My rankings for tight ends are a little bit lower. Bowers, I have lower. I have McBride right around his ADP. I'm not completely out because obviously if you want that Cincinnati-Arizona game, then you have to bring in some McBride. But I will be below the field on Bowers. McBride, I like. I honestly borderline like McBride more than Bowers. It's very close, but at cost, no question. And the Week 17 matchup, it's good against the Giants. I get that, and it's at home, so it is a good matchup. But it's a very good matchup for McBride as well. So I'm not completely out. I just don't see value in it. I really don't. Like, I'll pick the guys. I'm not going to be a full fade, but I don't think there's any value in taking elite tight end. I don't think that strategy exists at all this year. I really don't. It's not like in past years where it was Travis Kelce getting 1,210. That's not on the table for any of these tight ends. Maybe it is, but we don't know where they are. I do not think it's there for Bowers or McBride personally. That's my take. That's kind of my take on it. Yeah, it definitely would. It definitely would. Everybody in the community is absolutely necessary. Yeah, I've been favoring pounding wide receiver than staying ready to start snapping quarterbacks when the run starts, mid rounds that come back to tight end running back. Absolutely. That's very much my strategy this year. Very much. Definitely. Everybody, it's a good community. Everybody supports each other. We all appreciate all you guys coming into the streams. All the other streamers, some of them I know and I'm close with. Obviously, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing what you do. Try social clubs. Whoops. She's concerned. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, man. You have to deal with people parking in your lawn trying to change their friggin' tires, man, like I'm doing. Right? That's quality right there. Senior Soul looks pretty normal online. Tournament draft later, not now. Have I considered he's goated? I mean, maybe he is, and I'm ready to be wrong on that one, but we'll see. We'll go through the team quick, and then we'll get out of here. We got Justin Fields, Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy. Very unique for me. Definitely not something I'm doing a lot of, but I got 10 picks of value on both Goff and McCarthy, so I'll take it. Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson Jr., Rashad White, Marshawn Lloyd, Woody Marks, just guaranteeing myself that lucrative Green Bay backfield. Hopefully I'm guaranteeing myself that. And then hopefully these other guys can kind of pick off certain weeks and just piece it together for me. CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Jameson Williams, Zay Flowers, Jerry Jeudy, Kyle Williams, Isaac Tesla. I like this. I like it fair amount, actually. This could definitely work. I really like it. TJ Hawkinson, Pat Freiermuth, and Mason Taylor. Some good correlation, some good bringbacks, some good stacks. I like it. It could definitely work. Bye weeks make a lot of sense. It's a solidly constructed team. Definitely not my favorite, but it could win. and it's usually the ones that aren't your favorites that end up winning. So there you go. We're going to get out of here, guys. Appreciate you, Fantasy Dog. Appreciate all of you. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't yet. If you're new, you like the content, hit the subscribe button. We'll be drafting all summer. We're Wednesday today. I believe I can do a stream on Friday night. Maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Friday. Hit the notification bell, lets you know when I'm going live. It's somewhat sporadic, but it's definitely 2, 3, 4 times a week for a couple hours. So appreciate you guys. We'll get out of here. Next week I'll be gone, but I'll let you guys know on the next stream, and we'll stream at some point over the weekend as well. So again, it's 3 or 4 times a week. It's just a matter of what days it's going to be, how busy my real life gets. So hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button on your way out. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right. We'll see you guys on the next one.